Good day, or whatever time it is for you as you watch this video, and welcome. We are going to do about an hour, maybe a little less. We'll see how it goes. I always tend to go over what I think I'm gonna, so for you, of therapeutics. So therapeutics or restoratives, but more than restoratives today, I think focusing on therapeutics, so a little more core work, support for the low back, as well as our digestion, our immunity, happy hormones happen right there in the core center. We will use a chair for a bunch of stuff. So if you're at work in your office desk right now, you probably have a better chair than this. Hopefully it doesn't roll too much, or you can stop the roll or use a desk or something when we get to that point, or of course not. Anyways, there will be options and variations on all the offerings. But if you want to do the class and join along with all the things I'll be suggesting or inviting, then you probably want a chair or some sort of seat. That could be the edge of your bed, as long as your feet touch the floor a little bit. It could be a couch or anything. For now, any comfortable seat. You could sit up onto a bolster or a pillow, or you could be sitting in your furniture. So find your comfortable seat. You may want a block for later in practice, but I'm not even so sure that you'll need that because we have a chair. There's lots of ways to use that. So gather what you need to be supported. If you're sitting on the ground to begin with, please have your hips lifted a little higher than your knees. Unless it's like that already for you, your knees are on the ground, then you're fine. Otherwise, have that support to lift your seat so that the pelvic bowl can pour forward and the lower back curve moves in. The groin muscles can relax as your legs float down to rest on the earth. In any comfortable seat, that could be sitting on your heels or cross-legged, or again, in your furniture. Whatever feels good for you, where you can not think about the shape of your body for a minute, or not be distracted by discomfort in your seat, but fully bring your awareness to whatever's present. So as you're ready, in your comfortable seat, begin to deepen and lengthen your breath and draw your awareness inward. We're going to move through the body in a way of simply observing. And this might seem at first like not a lot's happening, but just trust me that there is such power to these awareness practices, to just noticing how we connect to our environment, to our inner world, to how we hold things in the body. The more we practice this simply, the more we notice it in regular life. And you might go into a situation that might have previously caused you some stress or that might trigger some traumatic memory. And you can notice that in the body and then choose instead of react. That's ultimately what begins to happen. Simply by noticing, by paying attention, the tension melts away. Tension, taking the tension out, finding that opposite place where there can be ease, no matter what happened or didn't to you in your body at any point. So here, now, this one moment, feel your body on the earth or on the support that you're sitting on. Sense your seat and what it's connected to. Breathe into that awareness and connection. Follow the awareness down to sense your feet and wherever they are touching the earth, one another, your support. Notice that you are held and supported by the earth. Remember your body as part of this earth, designed to heal, to renew, to rejuvenate. Continue to bring the awareness up now through your feet, through your legs, into your seat. And sense into your pelvic floor, your lower belly, your lower back. So the whole bowl of the pelvis. Sense into that. Any sensations there, any stickiness there or spaciousness. Notice the movement inside from the breath, from the inside, the expansion of belly and pelvic floor, maybe also of low back. Deep, full breaths in the nose, out the mouth. And then, since we're going to be focusing on the core today, and thereby support for the low back, really bring your breathful awareness for a bit into the lower back. See if you can even imagine or sense an expansion of the low back, like the breath is really going in and creating some space. And sense your hands resting on your legs or wherever they're resting. And feel the air on your skin, your clothing on your skin. And draw breathful awareness up the length of your arms into your shoulders. Notice and invite that rise and fall of your shoulders, moving with the waves of breath. Bring breath awareness the length of your spine, connecting from the base of your skull down to the base of your spine. Breath being drawn down from the sky and filling up the spine, filling up the torso like a vase from bottom to top. And then as you exhale, emptying out from top to bottom. With a slight engagement of the core at the bottom of the exhale, pull the navel back and the pelvic floor up. Long, slow, deep breaths, the entire length of your spine. Let that inhale lift you tall with a bit of muscular engagement. And if you will, imagine as you exhale, soft eyes, soft jaw, soft shoulders, and then the engagement of the core at the end of the exhale. Again, notice as you breathe any areas that feel a little sticky or resistant to the movement of breath, or any areas that are feeling soft, responsive, delicious to the movement of breath. Exhale and touch the earth, ground down, or just point your fingers down towards the earth. Press through the fingers, reaching down through the shoulders, lift through your heart. And giving thanks, sending energetic thanks down to this great body of earth, to our great nourisher and embracer and inspirator, teacher, and a wondrous artist of nature. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And follow your next inhale. Open the arms wide to the sky and gather up. And then as you exhale, center and focus in. Palms together, hands to the heart. At the heart, you could push into the palms and work the shoulders on the back. Try to keep that nice wide open chest and breathe wide across the wings of your heart. And let your thumbs rest on the chest so that you can maybe sense your heartbeat. Feel the rise and fall of your chest with your breath. Exhale and pour your breath out. And then inhale your heart's yes, if you will join me. One great Om. Om. And keep your chest lifted. Let's roll the shoulders, roll your mouth. And again, hands wide next to you, holding onto your support or pressing down. Inhale tall, exhale right ear to the shoulder. Inhale, reach through the fingers and that right ear, and exhale, chin to the chest. Inhale, left ear to the shoulder, reach down through that right hand, soft jaw, big breath. Exhale, roll through center. And let your breath lead. We'll go side to side a couple more. Lost breath or two. And then take your time. Once you feel pretty even on both sides, roll it around, get nice and fluid. So now I'm going to offer a few options. The next thing that happens here can be done in the seat that you're in, or in a chair like this one, or standing. So let me just demo first in a chair. It'll be kind of like a cat-cow in your chair. So hold the knees and inhale, lower back in and heart forward, and then push into the knees, navel back, spine around. So this could be in your seat, or I invite you to do this standing with me if you have that space and wherewithal today. Let's see, go something like this. So you're in chair pose, kind of with your legs. Make sure your feet and middle toes, middle knees, hip points are pretty equidistant. And then press down into your thighs, drop the tailbone, lift the navel, keep in the heart, and round through. I'm going to cut off my head for a moment here as I inhale, rise up, and then shoulders on the back, seat back, heart forward, drop down, press in, tailbone down, navel up, rounding through the spine. I want to get the spine really fluid here. Give myself a little more space. And continue that, just riding waves of breath through your spine, inviting a nice fluidity into your spine, into your day. We all could use as much fluid energy as possible right now as we stay resilient in this time with all of the changes and the dreaming, the curiosity, the compassion that we are extra welcomed to for ourselves and others at this challenging time in the world. Really let your neck go with that. Notice if you're holding or thinking there, and see if you can just let thinking go and become very fluid in your spine. Two more. And then again, an option here. You can either play in your standing chair and lift and turn, press one hip back and twist gently like this. So you can probably see how that would read into a chair. You can hold that leg that you're spinning towards. You could hold the back of the chair. Root down, inhale tall, and as you exhale, twist. So sitting or standing with that, a little more work. You could reach back or hold your sacrum or even hold the other thigh if you've got stretchy arms like that. Keep the knees as connected as you can or on the same plane. Look back. Use that opposite side hand to pull a bit that shoulder blade down as you look back. Get a nice neck shoulder release there. Take your time. As you come back to center, you might just re-neutralize there, back to our little wave, sitting or standing. And then we'll go to the other side, lift and turn, opposite hand to opposite leg, other hand behind you. Push down and lengthen, up, and then spiral into your twist, looking behind you. Remember airplanes? Just had a memory of doing that on an airplane, like twisting and at the same time checking out your kid who's kicking my chair. Breathing that twist, all variations, play with it. Maybe use that front hand to pull down and look back and stretch out the neck, shoulder connection, soft jaw. Last breath or two like that. I just got to get my clock facing me. And then unwind and let's all come to our chair. Chair yoga. All right, so this is so great because you can do this anytime in your chair. First, let's warm up the glutes a bit. So you can also do this sitting on the floor, which is this is great for your twerking muscles as well. Yep, a little twerking chair yoga. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. What day is it? Thursday. I was trying to find some reason for dancing, but there's always reasons for dancing. Anyways, we are in our chair. Our feet are on the floor, if possible. And can't see my feet. Too bad. They're there. more dancing. Okay, back to center. Here we go. So we're going to work with some of the core muscles. The core tends to get weak when we sit in chairs a lot, unless you do this stuff. And the lower back muscles get compressed, the iliopsoas will get tight. And so, because so many of us are chair dwellers in the world more than ever these days, I just want to invite these practices in. So, even if you feel like you can't get up out of your chair, here's some things to do to make your core strong. And as you're ready, we're going to play first with just inhale and stretch your arms up. And maybe that looks more like that. Elbows could be bent. Doesn't have to be a fierce reaching up. I just like to do that. It feels good. So you do however works for you, but reach up and notice what happens. The first thing that might happen here, if you're more flexible in the low back, is as you reach, you might feel that this wanting to give you space. So if there's a tightness somewhere else, you might bend those elbows and pull back more and try to find this neutral spine. So we're working with the corset muscles, the transversus abdominis, which is like a big old hug here, big belt. Inhaling and reaching up. Again, relax the shoulders as much as you need to feel at ease here, but notice there's going to be some little hug in here. And then we're going to add to that. So we're going to do about 20 lifts. Inhale. As you exhale, pull the navel back and your right knee up. Foot up. Inhale down. Navel back, leg up. Last one or two, and then I'm going to count down from 10 because I forgot to count. So here we go for you. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And take pause. Again, you could hold still or inhale, pull on the knees, heart forward, and exhale, roll back. So we want to find that toning and still keep our fluidity. So I hope that you noticed that this is as much about the breath or more than it is the repetitions. So we don't want to be just marching away here. This is, something's happening there. It's good. You could just march away. It's better than just sitting. But so much more is happening when the arms are up. And the exhale is pulling the navel back, and we're really getting strong in there. So let's keep the feet like outer hip width now for this one. And at first, interlace your hands behind your head, elbows really wide. Squeeze the shoulders on the back and kind of pick your head up out of your shoulders. Pick your ribs up out of the waist out of the diaphragm without arching too much. So again, we want to integrate those low ribs, pull them back, keeping the low ribs and hips connected. And then we'll inhale here. And as you exhale, we're going to pick up the right knee, keeping the right hand behind the head and reach left arm past the right leg. Inhale, open back to center, and exhale, cross body. Inhale, open, and use that to push your head back. So we don't want to end up doing this kind of thing. We want to keep this lift here, nice strong core, keeping that corset on. And then we're going cross body with the reach, keeping spine long. Keeping the elbow hand there on the head to keep the head pushing back. And 10 more. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, And the last one, did I do that wrong somewhere? Should be even on both sides once you're done. Again, hands to the knees, maybe very wide feet now, and come forward as far as you can and press in and roll up. So what we're looking here to do is really roll that pelvis forward, heart forward from there, and then scoop the pelvis back. So again, there's navel engagement on that exhale with your breath. The next time that you come forward, you should still be on the edge of the chair. I was just trying to get my feet to be shown, but oh well. And next time you come forward, slide the hands down the legs, hold your ankles. That could be in front, or maybe you swoop around inside and behind the ankles and give a press into the ankles or the back of the calves. Again, if it's not for you, maybe you're just staying more here. We still want that pelvic roll forward. And then bow in to whatever edge is there for you. Relax your neck. It's also good for motion sickness in a car if you're going on a swervy car ride. And let's move over to one side. If you have your right hand behind your right ankle, take the left hand around the front of that ankle. So we're going to be getting into the QL, the quadratus lumborum on one side. So that right hand's behind the ankle, left arm comes around the front and reach across the front of that ankle. Give a little pull into your ankle, hugging in towards that leg, and stretch back through that left hip. And breathe that stretch in your low back. Relax the neck as much as you can and soft jaw. Come back to center. Next inhale or so, we'll go to other side. Left hand behind that ankle, pushing into the ankle. Right hand around the front, maybe even all the way wrapping around it. And then reach through that elbow as you give a little pull on that leg and press into the back of it to dive in there and hug towards the left leg. Reach that right hip back and the sits bone down as much as you can. So you're getting a nice stretch on that lower back side there, quadratus lumborum. And. Unwind to center and drape back up. And we're going to come into the lower back and outer hips a little more. So let's do that. This is one of the greatest releases for the lower back in a seat. Right leg up, ankle over the knee. You can also do this standing, and as you know, if you practice with me, we do this shape a lot, also lying down. So balancing or lying down. Flex that top foot a lot. So you really want your ankle straight and strong here, so the ankle doesn't sickle, so the knee doesn't torque. And that'll help keep your knee safe and feed the stretch up into your hips. Pull onto that ankle and knee and work lower back in and heart forward. And if your hip is suddenly going, wah, and you don't want to go there, then pulse in and out can be very helpful. Inhaling, come forward, and exhale and round back. Again, getting that pulsation. Or it could be much smaller, staying out of the spine, but or not staying out of the spine all the way, but focusing more on that hip. Just lean in, breathful, and smiling does help. You might try it to wherever your edge is there and come back out when you feel that you want to run away. Go ahead, run away for a moment, but come on back. So if we're not keeping the ankle straight and strong, the knee's going to try to take this stretch if your hip is tight. So that's why we're really paying attention to the foot as well. Also, if you're clenching in your jaw or your tongue at all, you're telling your nervous system, but your hips and jaw are very connected by fascia, connective tissue. You're telling that hip to hold on. So really, maybe as you come forward, a little lion's breath or Horse lips, or a big smile. You can keep that pulsing in and out, or you could rest forward, elbows to ankle and knee, maybe stacking up there. And I like to bring the thumb into the crooks of the eyes and draw the head forward, spine long, low back in. There is a lovely place to stay. If it is for you, if you're breathful there. If you've got more space, keep that muscular action. Active ankle and foot. Pull the lower back in, reach the heart forward. Try not to lead with your head at all, and possibly lay over the leg. If you're very flexible and you can just flop right into this, then don't. Come back up, engage muscularly, and find what happens when you really engage the pose muscularly, one little breath at a time, how you can go within that container so that you're building a more balanced action in your body. And of course, if you're very tight there, then you engage muscularly in the ankle to protect the knee and a little bit into the push of your seat to propel the pelvic floor bowl forward. And besides that, you are looking more for a melting. At the very end of it all, you can let the head go here. Last few breaths. Last big inhale here. As you exhale, pull from your navel, come up, take that leg with you, maybe give it a little hug or even a little rock there, and then bring the foot down. And take a pause between sides. Notice the difference in the sides. That little scan we took earlier, how the body was feeling, how is it now? Hips, low back, circulation, sensation. And second side, as you're ready, pick that left leg up, ankle over knee, flex that foot strongly. Notice that often the pinky toe doesn't want to come. And so you really have to kind of give that pinky toe its own invitation and get the toes flexing back as evenly as you can. Straight, strong ankle. And then hand to knee and ball of foot. Give a little press and inhale, low back in, heart forward. And exhale, scoop back. Moving with your breath. How's your jaw? How's your tongue? How does a smile affect the movement or the sensation? And stay, of course, with that flow as much as you like, or just play at your edge. Maybe again bringing elbows to ankle and knee. Maybe you stack up here and rest the head in the hands. Use that to draw your head forward, not down, but long. Lower back in, heart forward, neck long. Maybe resting there. Active foot and active press into your sit bones to keep propelling the pelvic bowl forward, low back in, heart forward. Maybe you slide over the legs and press into your triceps to continue that lengthening the spine forward, and then melt the hands and the head towards the earth. Deep, full breaths wherever your edge is. And if you find yourself at a spot you want to run away from, instead of quitting the pose entirely, back up a little bit. Notice where it feels yummy. Notice where there is breathfulness again. And then from there, slowly lean into your edge. Finding a new edge. Breathfully lean into the sensation and listening inward. And thank you, body. Thank you, body. And please stay there until you feel pretty even with the other side. Once you do, drape on up. Hug that knee in to lift your low back in. Maybe give it a little rock. So now we are going to move into some things that are standing and lying on the floor. There's going to be ways that you can modify them if you are not able to get out of your seat for whatever reason. Or just come back to a breath practice, or maybe that was enough for you today. Let's push into the chair behind us. First, squeeze shoulders on the back, or standing up, clasp your hands, squeeze shoulders on the back after those forward folds, lifting the heart back open. We're going to use the chair still for a moment here. And if your chair is on wheels, if you're at a desk, then you might want to not use your chair for this or stop the wheels if you can. So we're going to bring one foot up onto your chair and then square your hips up as much as you can. Bend deep into that front knee. And also, once you get the front knee right over the ankle, you might also bend into the back knee. Here, your hands could be on your hips and you could just play with straightening the front leg back, maybe bending a little deeper into that front knee, maybe come in and out of it. Sinking in. Maybe bending back knee to lengthen here. Coming back out as you like. If you want to add to that, a little more challenge, and as we've learned, also core engagement, arms up. So you'll get more stretch through this long open side body, especially when you bend that back knee down, reach up, core is engaged, ribs and hips are connected. Come back out. So please notice there's many potential steps to this. I want you to do whatever edge is right for you. Maybe just pulsing in and out a little bit today. Maybe it's pulsing in to the edge of the knee right over the ankle and then going deeper, hips down, heart up. Maybe adding arms up and coming back out. Let your breath lead your movement here. We'll do about 5 or 6 more. Long, slow breaths. The breath is, again, a crucial part of this practice. As we deepen and lengthen the breath, we shift our physiology. We come off of fight, flight, freeze, fawn, all the things. Resma also says there's annihilate, which we may be feeling sometimes these days. So we just begin to bring ourselves back into growth and healing with these long, slow breaths. And last 1 or 2. And then take a pause. You might give yourself a little shake out there. I'm like the headless instructor today. I don't have my camera right. All right. When you are ready, second side, foot up. This could also be done on a stair. I'm saying that a little late, but it doesn't have to be such a high thing. If you have a lower thing, that's okay too. Square your hips up, press them down and lift up out of the waist, and then bend into that front knee. Notice me on the same side. Yeah, bend into that front knee until it's right over the ankle. Stay there or come back out. And again, bending in, maybe bending that back knee once you come to the edge on the front knee. You could stay with hands on hips, or if you've got the stability and you want a little more stretch there, again, inhale the arms up. Try not to let those low ribs pop forward here, or looking to lengthen and keep that core engagement as you sink to wherever your edge is, and come on back. About 5 more, maybe 6. This could be done without a chair too, of course, just standing, just playing with that length that you're getting in the quad psoas, hip flexor, strengthen the core, the arms up, engaging and lifting up out of the lower back, creating space there. Last 2 or 3 breaths. I'm going to go one more. And then again, shake yourself out once you're done. Take your time. And we'll make our way back to the earth. So I know I'm just kind of throwing myself down on the ground here. And if you do have big lower back stuff going on, please really take your time with it. So maybe I'll do that better. Let's step feet wide, sink low, because this is also a great place for low back. I'm just going to throw this one in here. So for those of you who came down already, you probably have the ability to get back up that fast. So come on down, heels in, toes out. Wide feet, press into your thighs. This can also be done sitting in your seat. Inhale, long spine, and as you exhale, press that left thigh away, pull your navel back, turn, look over right shoulder. Squeeze the breath out. Inhale, open to center, exhale, press and spiral. So again, side to side with that. This could also be done in your chair. And we'll go once more each side or whatever you need to get even on both sides. And some days it's not as obvious that I'm improvising as it is today, but yes, I'm improvising. There's so much stuff in my toolbox. Some days the improvising is just not as smooth. So when you're ready, maybe you come down through a wide squat or support yourself in any way to come to the floor or just come to a comfortable seat wherever is right for you. I want to invite you here to a little bit of inversion and then a final resting here. So let's bring at first your calves up onto your chair and come to lie down. You could stay right here for the rest of this time if you like. This is a great place to reset and ground, great place to restore. As when we're lifting the calves and dropping the femurs down into the back this way, it helps to just release low back, ground the nervous system. Legs up a wall is like this is like a modified version of legs up the wall. So please stay with this as you like. Let's all stay here a few breaths and just breathe deep and full. And get the breath as long and full as you can there. Please simply stay there breathful as you like, or bring your arms into robot arms. Elbows bent alongside of you, palms face one another. Press into the elbows and squeeze your shoulders on the back. Puff up your chest. And then as you exhale, pull those low ribs down. Again, try to get that corset engaged and connect the low ribs and hips. And then if you're going further with me, bring your feet to the edge of your chair and push down into your chair, squeeze your glutes and lift your hips. Please look up or towards your belly. Don't actually look at the camera towards this part if you're doing it. Otherwise, look and then do it. But inhale, lift up, 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 lift your chin. You could exhale and ripple back down and just play with that. Press into the heels or feet, wherever they've got a good hold on your particular piece of furniture. Squeeze the shoulders, lift the chest, lift the chin. And exhale, come on back down. You could pulse in and out of this, or you could play with it at the top. Maybe you interlace the hands behind you or hold on to something behind you. Squeeze the shoulders on the back as much as you can. Puff up your chest, lift your chin. Press very strongly into all those points of contact. Maybe hands, elbows, shoulders, center back of the head, lifting the chin to really reignite a strong cervical curve And often the neck curve and the low back curve mirror one another. So when we're having that tech neck thing, we're actually straining our low back. And so here we're building strong neck to add to that strong core work that we did. Stay here, or if you've got more play and you want to play here, go for it. You can pick one foot up and pull up from that foot as you push into the other leg. That's pretty big, but if it's there for you, great. Hands could stay clasped and squeezing, or keep the elbows and shoulders towards each other as much as you can. You're welcome to hold your hips, and you could lift, maybe switching the other leg, pulling up, up, up. So whatever variations for you, coming in and out of things or holding at an edge. We've got a couple more breaths or a couple more minutes, excuse me, in this pose or variations from this pose. Of course, if you happen to be a full shoulder stander here and you want to get it, you can go for that. Ideally, there are no vertebrae on the floor and the shoulders are really working together and the chin is lifted. So you're strengthening the cervical curve and not rounding it. And take your time. Please stay there and play there. Come in and out of it. Find variations. Or at any point, you can release your hands and ripple your spine back down to the earth and place your calves again onto your support. That could be it. You could stay right there. Or maybe you want to add a little more core here. So if you do, let's just do some little more traditional expectation core here. Hands interlace behind the head, thumbs trail down the neck. So really, please feel the support of your hands like a nice supportive pillow, supporting the neck and the head. And keep that. Feel your elbows wide and your shoulder blades on the back. Keep that. Inhale wide across the wings of your heart. And as you exhale, pull your navel down, pull your low ribs down, and just feel that incidentally making the upper body lighter and lifting towards the sky. Inhale and open back to the earth. So these aren't crunches. We're not curling in. You want that exhale to pull the navel down, pull the low ribs down. And whoa, suddenly we're floating. More yogi powers, the siddhis of floating. Inhale back to the earth. Exhale, really let this be about pulling the navel back. So even if you just laid here, kind of imagine someone was about to poke you in the belly and you're protecting. That's what we're doing here. So we're pulling the navel down and back, engaging the core muscles to protect yourself there in a good way with benefit here. Little wash, wash, wash for your organs. Elbows wide, shoulders on the back. Inhale at your resting point and exhale, navel down, tensing up all the belly, squeeze, 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 and maybe hold, floating there. 3, 2, 1. Inhale and open. Exhale, navel down strong, ribs down strong. Pull those low ribs into the earth, push them into the earth behind you. And hold steady. 3, 2, 1. And inhale back. Maybe 5 more of those with that 3 count, or just 5 altogether. Rest at any point, please. Please stay resting now, or if you're so inspired, if you want to come up, one last little burst, pressing into the heels, squeeze your shoulders, open up, big breath. And then any exhale to come down, rest your thighs, maybe, or your calves rather, and rest your hands on your belly and your heart, or hands could rest anywhere that feels good for you. It can just be nice after all that work in your center to hold yourself. Feel the connection of your hands to your body. Long, slow, deep breaths in the nose, out the mouth. Feel the rise and fall of the breath underneath your hands. Sense the earth beneath you. Maybe you can even feel the movement of the breath into and against the earth and the back body. Thank you, body. Thank you, body. Thank you, body. Gaze inward to your spacious inner world. Become aware of multicolored luminosity permeating everywhere. Expand your awareness outward to the blue sky filled with rays from the sun. The night sky, dark yet crisscrossed by the light of a billion suns. How can this be? All space is the same within you and far, far away. Lose yourself in spaciousness and come home to your true self. I encourage you to stay resting or in meditation as long as you like or are able. If and when you're ready to come back by way of the breath. Gently begin to deepen and lengthen your breath. Again, really sensing inwardly to that movement of breath through your nostrils, through your throat, the rise and fall of the breath through your chest, the expanding, softening, and then engagement of your belly. Maybe breath filling up the back body, breathing the spine, feeling that connection of your breath, your spine, back body, earth, the infinite, the unseen. That remembering that you are held and supported even when you can't see it. How often do we see our own back body, but we know it's there. We know we're held and supported. And then breathe up into your heart and breathe and repeat your heart's yes. Imagine any intention, heart quality, or energy that you would like to bring into your day or into your sleep or wherever you're headed next. Breathing deep and full that light of your heart's yes, I am. And even if you don't feel it in the moment, know that it's your truth on some layer, some level. So we're just reminding ourselves, remembering that truth of I am. I am at ease in body and mind. I am healthy, whole, and healed. I am unconditional, loving awareness. I am courageous kindness. I am love and revolution. Whatever it is for you, breathe and repeat your yes. And let that yes and your breath be so bright and rich and full that when you're ready, you are inspired back to movement. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes and maybe spiral wrists and ankles and stretch your arms long. And if you're laying down, if your legs are up, you could hug the knees in. Keep one arm extended up and then roll to that side where that that bottom arm will be, and rest on that arm, and the other arm can hug the knees and pause on your side as you transition, taking pause to notice and honor the transitions as so many of us are having so many of them right now. Yes, the turning. Yes, the trusting. Yes, the curiosity and wonder in the uncertainty and not knowing. And then follow any inhale to press down into earth and drape up. Keep your neck soft, eyes closed, awareness inward, and come back to any easy seat. And once you find your easy seat, again, feel your connection to earth and sky, and your connection to yourself, where your hands rest on your body, where your body has contact with itself in one place or another. Maybe you bring your hands back to your heart, laying on the heart, or in Anjali Mudra, this universal sign of oneness here. And may we awaken to that oneness. May we remember our interconnectedness and how much all of our thoughts and words and actions make a difference. May all of our effort and energy be for the greatest good. May all beings benefit. May all beings be joyous and free. Exhale and pour your breath out. Inhale your heart's yes. If you will join me, one great Om. Bow in to the light of your own heart and to that very same light within one another. Namaste. And to the earth. Jai Ma. Excuse me. Thank you all for practicing. And thank you for practicing with me. You can reach out to me, Lucid Yoga and Movement, my Facebook page or my web page or my YouTube page. And there's ways to donate on all the places and ways to ask me questions. So feel free to reach out. I'm going to stop the live streaming. Thank you and much love to all the peoples all over the world. And then we'll say hey